we have to make sure that we're letting go of ego, that we're letting go of the true definition of ambition, which means, stepping on everyone and getting what you want at all costs, and be aspiring, be collaborative, connect with the right people, and you will go further, faster. You will meet so many people, your organization will flourish, and you'll really be surprised at what can happen for the people that work for you. Hey, welcome to the Happy Life Agenda. This is Dani C. Today, I want to talk about ego. I was at a conference recently and we had some really candid conversations with a lot of other women about ego and the difference between ambition and aspiration. And so I really wanted to chat with you all about that today because I'm actually experiencing something in my life where, ego is really taking over the situation. It's preventing a group of people from being able to move forward and really relish in the success that the organization has had and devaluing the people who helped the organization achieve success. And so the reason that I wanted to talk about this topic is because if you're someone who's looking to fulfill your purpose, if you're someone who's in a leadership position, your ego has to be pushed aside. You don't get to where you are alone. Any idea that is executed upon is a culmination of conversations, collaboration, and ideas. Unless you are someone who is sitting in a basement with absolutely no contact with the rest of the world. A great example is if you're a programmer and you can build software without the support of anyone else, and you sit in your basement and you program or wherever you are all alone without any other collaboration, and then you put that piece of software out there, there still are people and tools that help you get that software in front of the right people. Now, again, there could be a situation where you're doing all of your marketing and getting in front of the venture capitalists all by yourself and you're not having to leverage any of your network. I would say that those situations are very rare, and that's not really what we're talking about here, because when you work with an organization, if you are someone who is building a platform, all of these different things, yes, you're going to do the lion's share of the work because it is your baby and you're the one who, started to foster this and bring the people together. But it coming together and it getting where it needs to go happened because you found great people that could contribute great ideas, and you had conversations that got you to the thoughts that got you to the next step, or got them to the thoughts that got them to the next step. A lot of organizations, it isn't just one person. It's rarely just like, hey, I'm the CEO, this is my company, and that's all I've got. You usually have some partnerships. You have operations, you have marketing, you have technology, you have, customer service, client services, shipping, all of these different pieces of the organization that contribute to the whole. And if you don't value each of those pieces, if you lifted out one of those pieces, how difficult would business become? How difficult would it be to give the customer the best possible experience? So you can't only value one piece of the puzzle. You can't have ego and think that you did it all on your own. And you also can't think, well, my ideas got us here and we're not going to change anything because this is how it needs to be done because what I built originally is the best thing ever. Companies who fail to innovate and fail to grow do not succeed. They do not last. And you see that again, I'm going to reference Jim Collins' book, Built to Last, when they did these really deep dive studies across several years to look at the companies that, are centuries old, or at least a century old, because they relished their people, they valued their people, they valued ideas, they valued collaboration, and they never stopped innovating. I think my favorite story is 3M, because, they set out to, the Minnesota Mining Company is what they were originally called, I believe. They set out to do something entirely different and they accidentally stumbled upon this, sticky material. And that's because they let their engineers play around, for part of their workday with the different tools that they had available to them. And they came up with something completely different. And they are still a company that is pivotal in a fabric of our society today. So if you're a leader of an organization or you are a budding entrepreneur, I can't stress enough to let go of your ego, because you're not going to get there all by yourself. And you are heavily responsible for, the idea coming to fruition. But because you bring the right people together and you know how to foster and nurture them into helping you further build this, and you give them the space to share their ideas and, engage with others that can help share ideas and make things happen, you have to be open as your company grows to new ideas and fresh perspectives, because that is how you will innovate. So if you're unwilling to take a look at what you built in the beginning and make some changes to get to that next step, then you're not going to flourish. And so you really, really have to let go of ego. And the word ambition came up yesterday at the conference. And I was really shocked because, again, you always hear ambition and being an ambitious person as such a positive narrative. But, when we had the discussion, it was really closely tied to ego, because ambition is often seen as like, you will do anything that it takes at all costs to get to the very top and achieve your goals. That's not really a great way to be, because that's a kind of a closed off mentality. That's, I can do it all myself. I don't need anyone else. And so we talked about the better adjective there. The better noun is aspiration, or aspiring to support a goal, aspiring to a goal, because then you're constantly reaching, you're constantly evolving, you're constantly wanting to make it better, and you're willing to bring others along with you so that you can all aspire to be better and aspire to innovate. And then that one says, that it just never stops growing. You're not stepping on toes. You're inviting people along the journey. With that conversation, we talked about, connection and collaboration versus competition. And that's another thing. There's just no space in a healthy organization, in healthy relationships, if you are focused on competition over collaboration and connecting with one another. And I can even admit, when I first started my career, and I've said this before, is as women, we step into the career space, we're really asked to be on par with men. And men, are much more work off of a competitive model, work much more off of an ambitious model. And women are usually better at that nurturing and that broad, spectrum notice, where they notice that everyone, what they contribute, what they can bring. And so when I entered the workforce, in order to win, so to speak, in order to get to the places that I wanted to be, to get that seat at the table, I thought that I had to step on everyone's toes. I thought that I had to make it my ideas, get the credit. And the longer that I was, in these situations, and the more opportunities that I had to become a leader, and in the moments where I was able to bring a group of people together, we were able to share ideas, we were able to collaborate, the projects and the success that we achieved turned out so much better than when I tried to do everything alone, because I eventually got burnt out. My ideas were short-sighted, and I wasn't open to the potential and the possibilities. And I wasn't reaching out to the people that could give me the insights that would make this project so much better. So if you are focused on, it's got to be, me who had the ideas, and it's got to be me who gets the credit, and I am the CEO, or I am the founding entrepreneur, and I got us here, I really, really encourage you to take a step back and look at the people that supported you on this journey, and how you got here, and the ideas and the suggestions that they've brought to you, because it's not an alone game. And if you want to go further, faster, you need to show value to every single person on your team, because it takes everyone to get there, all the way down to the guy in the mailroom, the janitor who's changing out the trash, to the CEO at the very top, the founder, the C-suite, the directors, the managers, the VPs. All of those people contribute. Every single person matters. Whenever I have a new hire, a lot of them come in, well, not a lot, but I've had a few come in with ego. And they are very frustrated by, what we call the minutia task, where, you're working the support inbox, or you're the person that's got to, manage all of the little tiny things that have to be updated on the website after every conference. And, it was really interesting to me. It was someone who had come in without any experience in the workforce, and was just like, this is beneath me. You're not using my talents. And, I said, everyone starts in this organization, doesn't matter what level, at these types of tasks, because if you don't build that foundation, you don't get exposed to those things, how are you going to know the other things to grow to the top? And so, I've always had the experience where if you walk a mile in the shoes of the people that you're leading, it's a lot easier to lead, because you know that perspective. If you're somebody that comes in at a top position immediately, you have to really, really put yourself through like a boot camp to learn everything. And as well as kind of lead. Whereas if you start at the bottom and you stair step your way up, you really have this great insight, and you've really gotten your hands dirty in every single piece of the organization, or the task that it takes to now lead the people that you're going to leave. Again, going back to Built to Last, the companies that have lasted, 100 years or almost 100 years, and they are part of the fabric of our society. These are organizations who grew their leadership inadvertently, oftentimes from within. And it will be somebody that started, as a coordinator or as an accountant, when the company first began, and they just grew through the ranks because they had the passion, they had the drive, they had, the insights and the ability to like go and collaborate with all of the different levels of the organization. So when it came time to choose a new CEO, everybody's like, oh, well, this guy knows everything because he's worked here, 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 and here, and he helped me with this, and she helped me with that, and so on and so forth. And so if you are not recognizing the people that are rolling up their sleeves, crossing department lines, helping each other out, and you're not fostering that connection, that collaboration, and you're setting up a situation where it's like, well, marketing did this and sales did this, and we're going to give credit over here, but not over here. It takes a team. We recently hired someone who has done a phenomenal job at bridging the gap between departments where we were struggling with that before. And her ability to cross department lines and have honest, objective conversations with each of the key people, and even like being willing to collaborate with any level of the organization, has completely transformed how we're able to work. And so I just really want to impart some of the conversations that I was a part of this last week with you, because ego came through a lot, and it's coming through in what I'm experiencing. And then what these women were talking about is that we have to make sure that we're letting go of ego, that we're letting go of the true definition of ambition, which means, stepping on everyone and getting what you want at all costs, and be aspiring, be collaborative, connect with the right people, and you will go further, faster. You will meet so many people. Your organization will flourish, and you'll really be surprised at what can happen for the people that work for you. Their ability to grow, their ability to bring ideas, their ability to invite more people into the fold that are going to transform the organization. I have one employee who she has just been a phenomenal part of the department, and she has referred 3 rock stars to my department, which has allowed us to grow and expand so much faster in such a short amount of time because of the ideas that these people brought to the table and how well everyone is able to connect and collaborate. So I can't speak enough about, prioritizing connection, collaboration, letting go of ego and competition, and really driving your teams to foster these values as well. Well, thanks so much. This is Dani C. And if you want more insights on how to manage your life with connection and collaboration, visit happylifeagenda.com. If you are an entrepreneur or leader in an organization and you would like to see your organization flourish, visit us at hllconsulting.com. And my team and I will come in and we can do some assessments and help you build a strong team, or start to mold your team into one that is strong in connection and collaboration, and that fosters retention. So talk to you soon.